Hi, you guys, and welcome to the Originals Buzz Chat. I think I like that name, but I don't know. We may change it. So let's see. Yay, awesome. We are definitely up and running. And hey,
And welcome to the Originals Buzz.
Sorry, I know I'm being goofy right now, but okay. Anyway, to start things off, Rufy is going to be very kind enough to give away a poster during this live chat, which she's awesome. If you don't already follow her on Twitter, it's Vampire Diaries Online. Hey, she's in here now. And hi. So we're going to kick things off. And basically, I think they were wanting to do like a trivia question for the giveaway. So close to the end, I'll ask a question. And then the first one to type the right answer will get it correctly. And then I'll try to link up. How did you want to do it, Ruthie? Like, did you want them to send you their information? How did you want them to send your information so they can get the poster? Let's see if the answer's back real quick. And it's the Vampire Diaries fans online. I I thought it was. I don't know why I thought it was the other one, but yes. Anyway, yes, the Vampire Diaries fans online, and she covers both the Vampire Diaries and the original. So it's an awesome website. That link is also there on the Twitter page. So please check it out. So let's see. Okay. So we'll see basically how we can link up and basically get the information so then we can send the winner the poster. So anyway, moving on and getting more into it. It's been kind of it was kind of crazy last week. So first question jumping in, how did you guys enjoy the shows last week? They were pretty, what was just TVD last week, right? Okay, so Ruthie said, in order for you, which, yeah, that does make sense because it'd be easier for us to contact you as well, to make sure that you are signed up and logged in to Insticator so we can identify who you are, because in that way they'll be able to identify you to get the information and do all that stuff. So it only takes a couple of minutes. You can actually do it. While you're hanging out with us now, if you want to. So you can definitely click over and go ahead and make an account really quick. And I think it gives you easy options. So you can sign in with like Twitter or Facebook or something. So it's something where you won't have to be all crazy and like go in and create all this stuff. It's very easy. So please make sure you do that in order to win the original season 2 poster. Which thank you so much, Ruthie, for offering that and doing that. That is so awesome. Thank you. All right, so Pretty Caroline said that she liked Tio. She needed more Freya, though. I did too. Freya's still a big mystery to me. I'm trying to figure out either she's Freya or is she crazy Auntie Dahlia. So it's pretty funny. So I'm trying to still figure that out. But yeah, it definitely needed more her. And I had a couple of questions about that. Like I don't really understand. Cool. I don't really understand why, which I do. I understand why Klaus invited Haley and Jackson to stay at the compound, because we all know Klaus, and he's just basically doing it so then that way he can keep his eye on them. The bayou is too much of a trip. He's trying to keep everything right there, so if something goes, he can get the werewolf army geared up and save baby Hope. So we definitely know that that's his ulterior motive. But I don't know, I was kind of uncomfortable with the fact that he let everybody know about Hope and see her. Um, just due to the fact that, a couple of episodes back, he had killed his father for knowing it and different things like that. So it was kind of like, I was like, oh my God, you could have not killed your dad, so to speak, to get it. So it was kind of weird. But so I'm hoping that maybe they'll explain that a little bit later. Hold on, let me see if you guys are getting. Oh, I think you just fast forward it, and I think it'll go like back to the live. I'm hoping that'll fix it. Okay, hopefully. All right, so yeah, that kind of weirded me out, and but I guess they'll explain that a little bit later. I don't know. Yes, he's definitely also doing it to play James C518. Said he is doing it to play with Elijah's emotions, knowing how he feels for Haley. Yes, he is. He really is. And I felt really bad for Elijah this episode. And the reason why I felt really bad for Elijah this episode is because I understand that I do understand that Jackson is a lot more verbal in expressing how he cares for Haley. But at the same time, for her to kind of feel like Elijah has never really kind of expressed that, or I don't know. I just think that it was a little bit too harsh for his part, because let's face it, I mean, since the pilot episode, Klaus has been trying to get rid of Haley and the baby the first like 2 or 3 episodes in the season. So without Elijah kind of like really stepping in and taking control of the situation and basically making sure she's protected and making sure that she has a place to stay and that she's okay, then it could have went like a totally different way. And I feel like everything he's kind of done during season 1 and then including in season 2 in between his breakdown has been to ensure that her and Hope are safe. So I kind of felt like she was a little bit too hard on Elijah. Maybe she was a little hormonal. It was her wedding, all this stuff. But yeah, I just felt like she was a little hard on Elijah. So I really didn't. But I will admit, I do like her with Jackson. And the reason why I do like her with Jackson is because I really thought about it. I know how everybody, loves, her with Elijah, or loves her with Klaus and wants her to be a Mikaelson and stuff like that. But really, when you look at Haley's character in the past, her whole issue has been finding her identity. So when Jackson did what he did, when he made the statement about, you're in this house, in his house, you're, wearing his sister's dress, I wanted you to have something that was you. And he was like the first person that really didn't want Haley to be a Mikaelson. He didn't want her to take on this whole other identity. He pretty much wanted her just to be her, because essentially that was her whole purpose for coming to New Orleans. At that moment, as soon as he said that, I said, hands down, he might be the safest choice for her at the moment. But I really like that fact that he kind of brought that out. I thought that was very interesting. And it was like the first time it really hit me. And I was like, that's true. I was like, everybody's trying to say, yeah, you're a Mikaelson now. And, you're a Hobbit, queen now and all this stuff. But Jackson was the only one that was like, you still need to be who you are. You still need to stay true to your family roots and where you come from. That was pretty much your main purpose of coming here. It wasn't coming here to, become a Michelson or, you know, to become a hybrid. It wasn't that. Um, I think she should too, James. I really do. I think she should stay with Jackson for right now. And I mean, honestly, I think she has more. I think the chemistry is kind of more there with like her and Jackson, or at least I like it. As you guys know, I'm all about chemistry. So if the actors are like, you know, really feeding off each other really well, then that really, you know, gets me. Which I mean, her and Elijah have chemistry too, but her and Jackson, they really do. They really have a lot of chemistry, and I think it's to the point to where the actors don't even really have to say anything. They can kind of just glance at each other, and you kind of already know. So I really appreciated that. But other than that, the ceremony was great. Uh, I was just laughing the whole time because Klaus was like, he was like a lurker. Like if you go back and rewatch the episode, it's like even in the wide shot screens, you can see him uh, lurking in the background. He was like, you know, lurking the whole time. So I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, she does seem to be falling for him. She really does. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I think that's a really good choice, you know, for her right about now. I really do. And I know it's sad, but I because a lot of people out there probably don't agree with it, but I think it is pretty safe for her right now. So, I know you guys are gonna hate it. I know Cole left us, so it did end up being Cole that was the actual original that died. But I don't know. Do you guys think there's a chance for Cole to come back? There is a loophole. I think he can come back because because he died in New Orleans, almost like Davina in them. So it is a possibility. But what do you guys think? Cole's coming back. Cole's not. What do you think? So start loading up and telling me what you think about that. Whether you think Cole's gonna come back or whatnot. And I'm trying to figure out what this spell was too, that Freya used to resurrect Finn, and why that couldn't be used on others. I don't know. I just have a lot of questions about Freya and Finn right about now. They're really intriguing to me right about now. I'm trying to, you know, figure out exactly what's going on with those two. Yes, it was a sad ending. I do think there's a possibility for him to be back as well. Um, I'm just not 100% sure, but I honestly do think that there is a chance. So, what did you guys think of TVD 2? TVD was good this week too. It was very sad. Kudos to Candace Aciola. She rocked it out. Um, and she sung too. She has a good voice. If you guys didn't know, she did record album like when she was 16, so it was kind of awesome. But yeah, TBD as well. Both were really sad this week. You know, they were really sad. But I mean, it was happy moments, but it was like sad moments too. So both were kind of back and forth this week. So we'll see. But she does have her humanity off. And I know it's probably not a likely chance, but with her humanity being off, I would have loved to see a crossover with her going to New Orleans to see Klaus. But I don't think that's the angle that the writers are going to go with. I think they're going to go with something different, of course, but a girl can dream. Uh, but I think it's going to be fun to kind of see her with her humanity off as well. So I think that's going to be fun. I don't think it's really going to be as much like Elena. I think it's going to be more like Caroline season 1. So that'll be interesting. Plus, it'd be interesting to see her kind of play something different. Oh, and Pretty Carolina says she gave up on TVD. Um, yeah, to be honest, I can kind of see that. I can see that. as you guys know, like this week, like, well, here lately, like for both shows, the ratings have kind of took a slump. There are things that you can do. You can definitely get on Twitter 2 hours before because they do follow the trends and stuff like that. You know, if you want to help out, like if you go 2 hours before and you type in either TBD at the end or the originals, that helps them out as well. You can watch it DVR, but make sure you don't forward through commercials. Just let the commercials play. That will also help out as well. So it's a lot of things where you can still help out to kind of give them a boost. But yeah, that's been kind of scary for me. I'm kind of scared. So I'm hoping that kind of straightens up a little bit. And yes, James, it is going to be interesting to see her as Dark Caroline. And yeah, I definitely want her to interact with Enzo because I think that's going to be a good interaction. Passenger said she thinks Klaus will be mad at Stefan for kissing Caroline. I think he would too. I've always stated before that I don't think like Klaus would really be a big fan of Caroline having her humanity off because that was one of the things that he kind of liked in her, that she was still so much, you know, so much human while she was still like vampire as well. But yeah, and the kiss thing, I don't know. I know it's a lot of Sterilon shippers out there, but I'm just gonna be honest. It's kind of a weird ship for me. So I'm kind of like trying to see where the writers are gonna kind of go with it. I don't know. I just like them better if they're friends. I thought they had a great, wonderful relationship. And I know that, you know, friends can, you know, relationships can evolve for friendships, but I've had guy friends and, you know, and I still do. And I just think like after a while, I just totally don't see them as being on the market or just even an option for me after we've been friends for so long. So I think it would have been better if they would have done it earlier. If they would have done it earlier, I think I would have liked it better. Like if they would have did it kind of right before the Tyler, during the time that Elena and Stefan kind of broke it off and she was kind of off with Damon. If they would have did it then, I think maybe it would have been a lot cooler. It would have been a lot more easier, I think. Maybe more realistic for me. I just think right now it's just unrealistic for me right now because I'm thinking, okay, Caroline was in love with Tyler for like going on like 3 seasons. I mean, you know, so he was supposedly the love of her life and all this stuff. And then on top of that, she started having, you know, intense feelings for Klaus. So it's a little hard for me to believe that she was still holding this torch for Stefan since season 2. So, but like I always say about ships, everybody has their favorites. I can comment and say that sometimes on Twitter it gets a little down and dirty in the tags. And I just think that everybody just needs to understand that everybody ships who they want to ship, regardless of whether those people are together or if they're not together. You know, ship who you want. That's the fun about both these shows. You know, if you like two characters together and that's your team, you know, stand behind your team. If you don't, that's okay. But don't hate on each other because one likes this and one likes that. That takes all the fun out of it. So, so definitely ship who you want to. So, I mean, I still ship thousands of people from like shows that probably aren't even half of them aren't on the air anymore. Okay, and let's see, Selena Forever from Passenger, and then James ringed in. I feel really bad for Tyler. I hope good things come his way. I do too. Tyler's had a very bad. He's had a very bad just like turn of events the past ever since he turned into a hybrid. Pretty much, Klaus ruined his life, and so it's been a pretty hard role for him, and I feel bad for him too. That's right. True that. Love Damon. That's why I said, you know, it's all fun. It's all fun. And what we have to realize is that it's still a TV show. So, you know, definitely ship who you want to, you know, and regardless of whether they're still together or not. Just do it. It's fun. That's who you like. So it's almost like having a favorite character, because we all know that Klaus is my favorite character. Team Klaus. So on the originals. And then on TVD, of course, my favorite character is Caroline. But other than that, that's fine. So so it's going to be interesting to see how both the shows are going to kind of shape up moving into the last couple of episodes. Yes, I agree with you too. Tyler hasn't had a real storyline anymore. I think that's the real issue. Like, I want everybody to get like storylines again. So you know, it would be like awesome if they would start doing that, especially with Tyler. Like, I thought they were going to go a little bit deeper with him and Liv, but that kind of like stopped really short. But I think he does have a lot of potential, and I would like to kind of see him struggling with whether or not he wants to even activate his werewolf gene again, because they really haven't talked about that. We really haven't seen him struggle with that internally, like if he's ever, you know, really kind of thought about activating his werewolf gene again. So I would kind of like that. I think another storyline I would really like for them, you know, and I don't want y'all to get mad, but honestly, the werewolf storyline on the originals, I I wanted to be Klaus's werewolf bloodline. Like, I kind of want to know more about them. It was kind of like we seen Descendants, and then they just disappeared in season one. Like, we didn't, you know, see whether or not they stayed, uh, if they're still out there in the bayou, if they're camping up. Like, they just kind of went away, and that was like a storyline that I was so intrigued about. Like, I was like, yes, you know, Klaus will get to interact with, you know, his bloodline as a werewolf, and it will be kind of good because, you know, he really haven't. So that'll be interesting too. That's a storyline I want them to bring back up too. And let me see. James said, just thought at least 3 of the current main characters have had both parents pass away. Yes. All of them, really. If you look at it, except for Matt. Matt technically is an orphan, but not an orphan in the way of like his mom passing away. But yes, everyone else, and Bonnie's mom isn't dead yet. She's a vampire, but yeah, everyone else has suffered the loss of a parent, if not both. So yeah, it's kind of sad when you think about it. Yes, Damon's mama storyline should be interesting as well. And I knew it. I knew they were going to bring Mama Salvatore back. I just didn't know how. So I didn't expect her to be, you know, where Bonnie was. So, but I'm really intrigued about that one as well. Yeah, and sometimes they do. They do introduce too many secondary characters, I think. And I think that kind of pulls you from the main storyline. And I think it's just maybe because too, they just need to connect all of the storylines together. That's one thing I can say this season I've kind of missed. Like, I used to like it at the beginning of the show to where if they had a storyline and then kind of at the end, everybody's storyline kind of, you know, intercepts, and, you know, you had them either in the same room or conversing with one another about the events. So I kind of like that better because it kind of all kept the characters connected. So yeah, definitely like that better. And let's see. Trying to think. I'm just trying to catch up and see what you guys are chatting about. So I'm looking over at the side to see. Yes, I did love Luke. He is part of Kai now. Crushing on Kai makes me so happy. Yes. Um, that's going to be interesting as well too. And it is now, since you say it, it is a bunch of different, you know, kind of characters, like kind of spaced out. So it really is. And I think I would like that better on I think I would like that better on the originals too. Now that you think about it on that, it's just certain characters just don't even really interact with one another. Like we haven't seen them like really interacting as a whole. And I think that's kind of missing on both shows. So hopefully they just had to do it just to kind of get these storylines out. Hopefully that will change to the end of the scene. It's definitely going to change on the originals because I don't care what anybody says. When Miss Crazy Pants Auntie comes back, everybody's going to have to be lined up. It's going to have to be a whole line of like a defensive front because she's blowing through the first half. So yes, the Bayman reunion was the best. I love that. Oh man, that made me smile. And I'm so glad Bonnie is back. Oh, I missed her. So I don't know what it is. It's just like if I watch an episode and there's no Caroline or there's no Bonnie, I just feel empty. I need my Caroline and Bonnie dose. So I always need them in episodes. Always. But yes. So I think that's going to be interesting as well. So I'm hoping that both shows kind of work on that when they kind of come back, kind of intercepting a lot. And of course, like everyone says, and crossovers. It's time for crossovers. It's definitely time for these shows to have like crossovers. So I think Hope will be able to take care of her if she's developed well. Oh, and I have a theory, basically, not like a big theory about Hope. It's just that Hope's abilities, pretty much, I think she reminds me of Wyatt from Charmed. I don't know how many of you watch Charmed, but Wyatt was he was a pretty badass baby. And I think that's what she kind of reminds me of because he was able to, you know, kind of do a lot of things when he was still a baby and still, you know, when Piper was still like pregnant with him and stuff. I don't know how many Charmed fans I have in here, but yeah. Yeah. So Hope definitely reminds me of Charmed. Stop in the car, all that stuff. Yeah. So, and I'm trying to realize why Cammy hasn't clicked to that yet and said something about it, but that's a whole nother realm. Let's see. Do I know of any new spoilers? Not too much. I mean, I have heard that they're going to dive into Haley's past. So when we come back, we're going to start seeing some flashbacks with Haley. That's really the only thing that I've really heard that we could be expecting. And of course, the reveal of Auntie Dahlia. So, but other than that, that's the only spoilers as of right now that I've heard. And let's see, Susan Fell said people are saying they can see Bayman together and Elena will get jealous and turn to Kai. Yeah, that's weird. It would mix things up. But that's real weird. That's a weird one. But I can't say that I don't like the idea of Bayman. I can't, you know, totally say that I don't. It will be interesting. It's good for things to kind of be mixed up a little bit, but it will be even more interesting if they stretched out past just the Salvatore brothers, maybe. There's a lot of hot guys on there. Let me see. Have a soft spot for Alaric. Yes, he's going to be a daddy now. Him and Joe are engaged. That's going to be awesome. And then the first thing I thought about was another baby. So I'm sitting here thinking like, are we going to see this baby too? Oh my God. So it's going to be Baby City. Definitely. All right. And I'm going to give that person, since we've got probably about 5 minutes or so just to wrap up, I'm going to go ahead and ask my question so then that person can have enough time to get in touch and send their information and goodies. And the trivia question, hope all you guys are listening so you can get ready. Give you like 2 seconds to get on the keyboard. All right. The trivia question is, who was Esther pregnant with when she gave Freya to Aunt Dahlia? So again, who was Esther pregnant with when she gave Freya to Aunt Dahlia? That's the trivia question for the original season 2 poster. Start typing it in. I'm trying to keep watch so I can see the first one. I'm going to ask the question again, just in case you guys forgot. And plus, I think it's a little time lapse on here too. Oh, Pretty Carolina was first. Elijah. So she's the winner. Yay! She gets the season 2 poster. Congrats. And thank you again, Ruthie. That was awesome. Very awesome of you. But yes, woo, it was Elijah. And now that I think about it, that's kind of weird that like she had like, I mean, Freya's coming back and she's seeing like all these siblings that like she never, I mean, she knew she had, but never like really knew. It's kind of crazy. Yay. Yeah, I am. I'm a little delayed. So yeah, it's like a delay on it. But okay, wrapping it up. I know you guys are heartbroken that there's no new episode tonight. But they are going to return March 9th for the originals, and then it's going to be March 12th, I think, for TVD. So it's going to be exciting. I know they've already released like kind of promos and stuff like that. We'll probably start seeing clips and stuff maybe a little bit next week. They'll start releasing those just to kind of get everybody revved back up and let them know that, hey, we're coming back. So be on the lookout. Watch all the timelines on Twitter for all the, original and TVD goodies. And you guys also, let me know, like, we have a free week. So we could also, talk about like a specific subject or anything like that. So if you guys ever have ideas about what to chat about or even just questions for me, please be sure to follow me on Twitter at The Originals AFF. There's also, if you click the link to the website, there's also an email there as well to where you can email me, or you could also just send it to me on Twitter. And again, thank you for tuning in. And also, let's see, don't forget, like, you can also go in here and like create the trivia questions and stuff with Instacator as well. So definitely fish and play with the site. It's awesome. They have thousands of fandoms on here. That is great. So whatever show that you're watching, they can definitely, like have fun with it. A good way to interact with fans. And don't forget to follow them on Twitter as well. And don't forget to follow Ruthie at TVD Fans Online on Twitter. She's awesome. And yay, I enjoyed you too. But she's awesome and very great and very nice. So she'll answer any question and try to really, get going with you and kind of chat with you. So she's great. She's always great about that. So please be sure to give her a follow. And I guess I will see you guys next week. But yeah, start sending me stuff if you guys want to talk about, anything or just questions. We can always just hang out, chat. But yes, but again, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are always great. And thank you so much for just being supportive of everything that The Originals Always and Forever does. And I will see you guys next week. See ya.